All right, so I want to get this cam bolt loosened. I'm gonna leave the belt is on, as you see here. So I got the cam holder down here. Just trying to find a good configuration. That may not be the way I go, but with this right here, I'm going to hold it with one hand and try to loosen it with my other hand here with the wrench. If that doesn't work, I'll probably have to set the holder up somewhere where it's underneath, locked in somewhere, maybe against the firewall or something. But we're going to try it like this. Now, this is a non-interference engine, so if it does move counterclockwise, it's not really going to do any damage to anything. So, but we want to try to, just keep it from moving if we can help it. All right, that was easy. No movement either. Worked out well. Okay, so this tensioner pulley is 14 millimeter. All right, now we're going to take the spring off. All right, so we drop down the tensioner pulley here, and we can remove the belt from our sprocket. Okay. All right, now I've already loosened this bolt here. I think I'm going to have to, there we go. I'm going to take the sprocket off, and then there should be a seal back there that we want to replace. There's the bolt out. Okay, so I have our crankshaft pulley top dead center lined up to 0. All right, I didn't know where the marking was at, but we actually worked out pretty well. I was thinking that this was off. Take a look at this. When you remember the little hole we have to line up with the mark back behind? There's the mark right. You can only put it on one way. So yeah, I thought the mark was over here. I thought the mark was over here where I marked it in the white. There's our mark right there. So when I there's our mark right there. I was thinking it was over here. It's right there. So we're in better shape than I thought we were in. I thought this was off a little bit, but when I put this back in place, like I took it off, that mark lines up with the hole. So that's great. All right, so what we want to do is take this seal out of here. Here's a look at the old seal. It's not really that flush. Has a lip on it. All right, I'm going to keep doing this. or find something better than my knife here. We don't want to do any scratching. May have to just go straight in on this seal. Getting ready to put our new seal in. Probably be handy to have like a Q-tip for this. Old cam seal. New cam seal. Okay, so see how the spring is in there? Make sure that stays in place. See how this doesn't cover it very well? I got this from a kit. I may not even use it. I prefer to have one where it actually goes up over that metal even more. Not completely, but it goes over more than what we have here. Some white lithium grease on it. Alright, so we're going to get something to push that in there. I'm going to try to get flush as much as possible. So I've got that seal in as flush as I can get it. It's not completely flush, but it wasn't. It wasn't when I took it out. All I'm doing is using this wrench, box end wrench, and the just using leverage here that I've got. Before I was using a plastic nut, plumbing nut, and a piece of wood. So here's the new seal in place. I've got it a little more in than the one that I took out, so I feel pretty good about it. Alright, so we're going to put our sprocket back on. Before putting the sprocket on, I want to say, now we have to have our mark right there line up with the little hole. I won't be able to take a picture of that because my camera is not going to focus because I don't have any really room here to show you that. So see where the index here, putting it sprocket in place is lined up with that white mark. See where, so it's going to lay right in here. So I can tell right now that it's already where it needs to be. And we have our crank 0 degrees. So we should still be in time. So we're going to put this on, and we're going to go ahead and put the belt on after that, and then we'll torque it 40 foot-pounds. So I put the cam bolt in there, hand tight. Afraid to move it anymore because I don't want to move the cam. So what we're going to do is put the belt on before I torque it, and since we're not going to be able to see, to make sure we're at time, and top dead center here with little holes hard to see to match up with the white. What I'm going to do is, or what I did do is, went ahead and made my own little reference marks here. So make sure that that stays where it's supposed to be at. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the belt on. So here's what I've done now. Put the belt back on the sprocket, lined up where the teeth were supposed to be at, so that's in good shape. Top dead center. Took the tensioner pulley, pulled it up. It was loose, pulled it up, put the spring back on. Now I'm going to loosen this bolt and let the spring take up the slack. Once that happens, hopefully it'll still be in place here. Once that happens, I will go ahead and tighten this bolt. This right now is just snug. It's really just a little more than hand tight. So yeah, once we get some tension on the belt, then I'll go ahead and torque this down to 40 foot-pounds. Okay. That should be probably good enough right there. Alright, so I couldn't put my torque wrench in here because I don't have enough room, but should be right at 40 foot-pounds. Still lined up here with the belt and the sprocket teeth. Still lined up here, that didn't move. We're still at 0 mark. So we've got a lot of slack. We go ahead and rotate crankshaft pulley with the tensioner loose. We're going to rotate the belt 1 7/8 turns. Alright, so we've gone one time, we're coming up to the 7/8. We're going to line up with the mark there. Right there. Belt is tight at the top. Right below the tensioner, belt is tight. So I feel pretty good about the way it's on now. Now we're going to tighten our bolt, 31 foot-pounds. All right, 31 foot-pounds, we're going to go with 42 Newton meters. My belt is tight. And I'm going to go ahead and take it through a couple more revolutions, then I'll probably start the engine. Still lined up. After 2 more rotations, I'm going to go ahead and try to start it for the first time. That is if my battery's not dead. So we'll see what we have. Okay, I think it's going to be okay. All right, so I guess I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have a nice day. Take care.